All right, Bears fans, let's dive straight into the big news that has everyone talking in Chicago. The front office just restructured Jaylen Johnson's deal, and that move instantly freed up about $8 million extra in cap space heading into the new season. Now, on the surface, that might sound like just another numbers game, but in reality, it says a lot about how the team views their star corner and what options could open up for the roster in the coming weeks. When you restructure a contract, you're essentially shifting the weight of the money around. Instead of letting the deal play out and having the flexibility to cut ties the following year with only a small penalty, you push that financial out further down the line. In plain English, what this means for Jaylen is that he's basically locked in for at least another season, no matter what. Not that Chicago would want to move on from him. He's their best cornerback and someone they invested heavily in just last offseason. But with this move, his future with the team is cemented even more firmly, and fans can take comfort in knowing one of the top defenders on this roster isn't going anywhere. So what does that mean for the Bears books right now? Before the move, the team was just barely cap compliant, with a little over $1.5 million left to work with. That's pocket change in NFL terms. But now, with about $9.5 million available, Chicago has real flexibility. Technically, they could go after just about any free agent on the market today if they really wanted to. That doesn't necessarily mean they're about to drop a big signing, though, and here's why. Every NFL team needs a cushion throughout the season. Money for practice squad salaries, money in case of injuries, and money for unexpected roster moves. Typically, that number is somewhere in the range of $5 to $7 million. So even though the Bears now have breathing room, it doesn't automatically signal that a blockbuster signing is about to happen. What it does mean, though, is that Ryan Poles and his staff now have options. Before this move, if someone went down in week 1 or week 2 and the team desperately needed a replacement, there was almost no way they could bring in a proven veteran without major financial juggling. Now, they have the space to go out and add a guy in the $3 to $5 million range if the right situation arises. It's all about flexibility. This is not necessarily a get ready, something big is happening tomorrow situation, but it's also not a meaningless adjustment. It's the Bears setting themselves up so that if a weakness becomes glaring or if an injury happens, they can respond without hesitation. And of course, the speculation immediately starts. Who could they bring in? The first name that always seems to surface is Zadarius Smith. He's been linked to Chicago in conversations all offseason because of his ability to generate sacks and boost a pass rush that, let's be honest, still has some question marks. Smith has piled up over 20 sacks in the past 3 seasons, so you know the production is there. The issue is twofold. First, reports suggest he wants to land with a team he views as a clear contender. And second, if the Bears truly had him at the top of their list, wouldn't they have made that move already? The longer a veteran of his caliber sits unsigned, the more it seems like either the team isn't fully sold on him or he isn't sold on the team. And that's where the conversation gets tricky. Some people inside league circles have mentioned concerns about locker room fit and chemistry when it comes to Smith. Those things don't always get publicized, but they matter, especially for a team that's focused on building a young core and developing its talent. Chicago has Austin Booker, a 22-year-old edge rusher, who they clearly want to see more of once he's back healthy. Signing a veteran like Smith could take snaps away from a young player the team is prioritizing, and that's part of the equation here. Still, if Booker is out for an extended stretch, it's not unreasonable to think that the Bears might want both, a proven pass rusher alongside a developing talent. It's just that, again, the timing makes you wonder if this was ever truly in their plans. Another name often thrown into the mix is Jadeveon Clowney. Now, Clowney is one of those players who has had a reputation following him for years. He's bounced around, flashed elite play at times, and in other stretches, he's left teams frustrated. There have been whispers about character concerns or how he meshes within a locker room. That said, on the field, he still shows that he can be disruptive when healthy. He reportedly intends to play in 2025, and his skill set is still valuable, even if he's no longer the same explosive force he once was. Like with Smith, though, the question is if the Bears were truly interested, why hasn't the move happened already? Edge is clearly a need. The market is sitting there. Yet, Poles hasn't pulled the trigger. That speaks volumes. If Chicago doesn't go after one of the bigger names, there are other, cheaper veteran options still floating around. Preston Smith could be a name worth watching if he's willing to play for a team-friendly deal. Carl Lawson showed flashes last year and might be a sneaky good addition for depth. Even some older names like Shaq Barrett or Jerry Hughes remain unsigned, though those will be more stopgap signings than true needle movers. The point is, the Bears don't lack options. They just need to decide whether making a move aligns with where they believe this roster is in its development. And while pass rush is the obvious position everyone points to, the ripple effect of having this extra cap space means the Bears aren't limited to just that. Injuries could create needs elsewhere. Take the cornerback position, for example. Jaylen Johnson is locked in, but he's been dealing with a nagging groin issue since before training camp. Those soft tissue injuries are unpredictable and can linger. Tariq Stevenson and Terrell Smith are in the mix, but beyond them, depth gets shaky fast. If Johnson suffers a setback or if one of the young guys struggles, suddenly someone like Stephon Gilmore becomes an interesting option. Sure, Gilmore is past his prime, but as a serviceable CB2 who could hold down the outside if needed, he would add real value in a pinch. The running back room is another spot worth keeping an eye on. Roscoe Johnson and rookie Kyle Manengai have both battled small injuries, and while DeAndre Swift is penciled in as the starter, you always want multiple reliable backs over the course of a 17-game season. Gus Edwards, for example, is still available and would bring that bruising between the tackle style that Chicago could use in short yardage situations. He's not versatile like Roscoe, who can catch passes and play special teams, but if one of the young guys goes down for a longer stretch, Edwards could be that physical complement to Swift. Even at safety, there's an intriguing free agent still out there, Justin Simmons. Now, Simmons has made it clear he's waiting for the right opportunity, and in his mind, that means a true contender. But he's also the only remaining safety on the market who's still a legitimate starter. If, heaven forbid, something happened to Jaquan Brisker or Kevin Byard, Simmons would immediately be at the top of the list. He's not the tackling machine he once was, but his instincts and coverage ability would stabilize the back end of any defense. If you zoom out, the Bears have already made some big commitments to foundational pieces. They extended Johnson, they've invested in Montez Sweat, and they're banking on young guys like Tariq Stevenson, Jervin Dexter, and Jaquan Brisker to take big leaps forward. That's the developmental side of the plan. But football seasons never go perfectly according to plan. Veterans get hurt, rookies struggle, or sometimes a player you didn't expect to be available suddenly hits the market. Having cap room in your back pocket means you can act when those situations arise, instead of just standing by and hoping the guys you already have can hold the fort. That's the layer of strategy Poles is playing here. Now, Bears fans are split. Some see that extra $9.5 million in space and immediately start dreaming of splashy moves. Go get a proven pass rusher, go grab a veteran corner, do something bold. Others take the more cautious route and remind everyone that it's a long season, and burning through that money too quickly could backfire. Both perspectives are valid, but if you look at how Poles has operated since he arrived, the cautious, calculated approach is far more likely. He's not someone who throws money around just to make headlines. He's methodical. If the right fit is there, sure, he'll pull the trigger. But don't expect desperation moves just because the money is sitting there. Still, it's hard not to let your mind wander to the what-if scenarios. Imagine this defense with another legitimate pass-rushing threat opposite Sweat. That would take so much pressure off the young secondary and allow Matt Eberflus to dial up more creative looks without constantly worrying about whether his front four can generate enough heat. Or imagine a veteran like Stephon Gilmore stabilizing the secondary if Johnson's groin issue lingers longer than expected. Suddenly, instead of scrambling and relying on improving depth, you'd have a player who has literally won a Defensive Player of the Year award anchoring that spot. Even at his age, Gilmore knows how to play the position, and he wouldn't need to be the number one guy. He'd just need to be steady. That's the kind of insurance that can make or break a season. Running back is another fascinating layer to all this. The Bears clearly believe in Roscoe Johnson, and rightfully so. He's tough, he's versatile, and he plays with a mentality that fits Chicago football. But durability has to be part of the conversation. He's already had some bumps and bruises, and while none of them are career-threatening, the position itself is brutal. DeAndre Swift is exciting, but he's not exactly the picture of durability either. Having someone like Gus Edwards in the back pocket will be the type of low-risk, high-reward signing that could pay off if the backfield thins out. He's not a flashy name, but sometimes the unflashy moves are the ones that keep the season from derailing. Another ripple effect of creating cap space is the trade deadline. Think back to last year when Poles shocked everyone by trading for Montez Sweat. That move only happened because the Bears had the space and the draft capital to make it work. If another similar opportunity presents itself this season, the Bears will be in a position to pounce again. It might not be another high-profile edge rusher, but maybe it's a wide receiver who becomes available, or a linebacker, or even an offensive lineman. Depth across the roster can change in an instant, and Poles has already shown he's not afraid to be aggressive if he sees a chance to accelerate this rebuild. Having $10 million in space now just makes it easier to pull off a deal when the deadline rolls around. The interesting thing is that these kinds of moves also send a message to the locker room. Players notice when the front office takes steps to create flexibility. It signals that management is prepared to support them if they start strong and find themselves in contention. Imagine you're in that locker room. You see the team starting 3-1 or 4-2, and then you find out Poles just used some of that cap space to add another proven veteran. That's a boost of confidence. It tells the players that management believes in them enough to invest further into the season. And in the NFL, those kinds of morale boosts matter. Let's not forget about the offensive side of the ball either. While most of the chatter revolves around defense, there's always the possibility of a move to strengthen the offense. For example, the offensive line has been shaky at times over the past few years, and injuries are almost inevitable in the trenches. If a starter goes down, suddenly adding a veteran lineman like Dalton Risner or someone in that tier could be the difference between keeping your quarterback upright or watching the season slip away because the line can't hold. The same logic applies to tight end depth or even wide receiver if someone becomes available unexpectedly. Then there's the looming question of what this all means for Caleb Williams, the young quarterback who is expected to carry this franchise forward. Every move the Bears make should ultimately be viewed through the lens of how it impacts his development. Freeing up this space isn't just about patching holes on defense. It's also about ensuring that if the offense needs reinforcements to protect or support Williams, the team can make those moves. Rookie quarterbacks are fragile investments, and giving him the best chance to succeed has to be priority number one. If that means using some of this space to grab an extra weapon or bolster the line midseason, so be it. Another point worth mentioning is the psychology of the fan base. Bears fans have been through years of frustration, false starts, and wasted potential. Moves like this give them hope because they create the sense that something big could be around the corner. Even if Poles ultimately doesn't make a splash signing, fans feel better knowing the team has the ability to do so. It changes the conversation from, we're stuck with what we have, to we're positioned to strike if the right opportunity comes along. That hope, that sense of possibility, is powerful in a city that lives and breathes football the way Chicago does. And while everyone debates whether the Bears should spend now or save for later, there's a reality that can't be ignored. The NFC North is wide open. The Packers are retooling around Jordan Love. The Vikings are still figuring out their quarterback situation. The Lions look strong, but they haven't proven they can dominate year in and year out. For the Bears, things break their way early in the season. A timely addition in October could be the difference between battling for a wild card spot and actually competing for the division. So the Jaylen Johnson restructure isn't just about one player or one contract or even one position. It's about strategy, flexibility, and opportunity. It's about making sure the Bears aren't caught flat-footed when the season throws them the inevitable curveballs. It's about showing the locker room and the fan base that this front office is prepared, that they're thinking ahead, and that they're committed to giving this team every chance to succeed right now, not just years down the road. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors have been swirling around the NFL in recent days, and nothing has caught the attention of fans more than the latest whispers connecting Terry McLaurin to the Chicago Bears. Sources close to the organization hint at an impending deal that could bring one of the league's most explosive wide receivers to the Windy City, though no official confirmation has been issued as of yet. Insiders suggest that McLaurin has been in conversations with the Bears front office for weeks, with discussions ranging from contract terms to his potential role in the offense. While fans on social media speculate wildly, analysts point out that McLaurin's arrival could significantly shift the Bears' offensive dynamics, giving quarterback Justin Fields an electrifying target and forcing defensive coordinators across the league to rethink their strategies. The timing of the deal is unclear, and sources caution that negotiations are delicate, with other teams reportedly interested in the star receiver. Yet, the sense of inevitability surrounding McLaurin's potential move is palpable, as insiders suggest that both parties are eager to finalize terms. If the rumors hold, Chicago could be on the verge of a transformative acquisition that reinvigorates its fan base, sparks ticket sales, and reshapes expectations for the upcoming season, creating a storm of anticipation in the process. The speculation surrounding McLaurin's possible signing has ignited fervent debate among NFL commentators, with some questioning how his addition would impact the Bears' salary cap, while others praise the potential chemistry he could develop with the existing roster. Social media platforms are ablaze with fan reactions, ranging from ecstatic endorsements to cautious skepticism, each fueled by leaks and insider reports. Observers note that McLaurin's speed, agility, and route-running precision would offer a level of offensive versatility that the Bears have struggled to achieve in recent seasons, potentially redefining the team's aerial attack. Rumors hint at strategic conversations taking place behind closed doors, including assessments of offensive schemes that could maximize his skills, while coaching staff reportedly weigh adjustments to accommodate a player of his caliber. Betting markets have even begun responding to the chatter, subtly shifting odds in anticipation of the news breaking officially, reflecting the widespread acknowledgement of McLaurin's potential impact. Meanwhile, other NFC North teams are said to be monitoring the situation closely, recognizing that Chicago's acquisition could alter the competitive landscape of the division, compelling rivals to rethink their own roster strategies, free agency moves, and draft plans to counteract the Bears' rumored new weapon. Insiders hint that McLaurin's decision to consider Chicago is influenced by several factors, including the city's passionate fan base, the opportunity to play a central role in the offense, and the potential for personal branding opportunities in a major media market. Discussions reportedly touch on contract length, guaranteed money, and incentives tied to performance metrics, indicating that negotiations are as much about financial security as they are about professional growth. While the Bears front office maintains a deliberate air of confidentiality, sources suggest internal excitement is mounting, with coaches envisioning the numerous ways McLaurin's skill set could transform red zone efficiency and third down conversions. Analysts speculate that even without official confirmation, the rumor alone has energized the fan community, inspiring debates about jersey sales, merchandise design, and potential marketing campaigns centered around McLaurin's name and image. Team insiders also hint at possible cultural fit considerations, suggesting that McLaurin's leadership qualities, work ethic, and locker room presence are being evaluated as part of a broader assessment of long-term team cohesion. In essence, the rumor is generating a multi-layered discussion that encompasses tactical, financial, and cultural dimensions, indicating the breadth of influence one high-profile acquisition could have on an organization eager to return to contention in the NFL hierarchy. Reports continue to circulate regarding the behind-the-scenes maneuvers surrounding McLaurin's potential transfer to the Bears, with some suggesting that rival teams may attempt late interventions to sway the receiver's decision. Speculation points to high-level meetings involving agents, league officials, and team executives, all contributing to the intrigue surrounding this potential signing. Analysts argue that McLaurin's presence could elevate not only the offensive production, but also the overall team morale, signaling a shift toward a more aggressive, high-powered approach that has been missing in Chicago for several seasons. Fans are said to be organizing viewing parties, preemptive celebrations, and social media campaigns in anticipation of an official announcement, reflecting the magnetic effect of star acquisitions on community engagement and brand loyalty. While the precise timing remains uncertain, sources indicate that the deal is in an advanced stage, with minor technical details left to resolve before formal confirmation. Media outlets have reportedly been briefed under conditions of anonymity, fueling speculation and rumor-mongering that spreads quickly across digital channels. Ultimately, the narrative surrounding McLaurin's possible move is more than a simple transaction. It is becoming a story of anticipation, intrigue, and strategic planning, capturing the imagination of fans, commentators, and industry insiders alike, all waiting for the moment that could redefine Chicago's NFL future. Amidst ongoing speculation, sports analysts continue to dissect potential scenarios that McLaurin's arrival in Chicago could trigger, ranging from offensive realignment to draft strategy recalibration. Rumors suggest that coaching staff may be reimagining playbooks to exploit McLaurin's deep threat abilities while simultaneously considering how to maintain balance across other key positions, including tight ends and running backs. The buzz has prompted a surge of coverage on podcasts, news segments, and fan forums, each adding layers of interpretation, conjecture, and insider insight that amplify the perception of inevitability surrounding the signing. Some insiders hint at subtle signals from the player himself, such as public statements and social media activity, which are being scrutinized for hidden confirmation of intent, contributing to the ongoing fervor. Sources allege that internal projections are assessing both immediate and long-term impacts on team performance metrics, merchandise revenue, and fan engagement, highlighting the comprehensive atmosphere is charged with expectation, as every rumor, leak, or subtle hint is magnified into a potential indicator of the deal's progress. The excitement around this potential move underscores how a single high-profile player can ignite conversations spanning tactical, financial, and cultural dimensions, transforming a team's narrative even before any official announcement is made, leaving fans and analysts in a perpetual state of suspense. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.